I'll tell you, as the actual nephew to Colonel Sanders, is Joe Ledington is just full of complete bullcrap. His original recipe he leaked, number 4 oregano, was spelled wrong. He also has salt listed as one of the 11. Uncle Harley said salt was never part of the 11 herbs and spices. He added it to the flour after the 11 were mixed with it. Now, Carl and I have some disagreements on what we think my uncle's recipe is. And he has some fair points, too, that he makes on his channel, and so I'll let him explain those on his. On my side, through my research, I have 2 theories. One theory is if the recipe did change. The second theory is the one that I go with, that it didn't change, but I know what did change around it, which is the suppliers, the oil, and the flour. But that's a video for another time that I've already made on my channel. Carl has his thoughts too, and I urge you to listen to it, which you obviously do. But Joe Ledington, not only is he not actually a nephew, he's Claudia's nephew, step-nephew to the Colonel. He proven himself a liar time and time again, and his family as well, when they came to my page and told me not only is that the original recipe, but they were sued $25 million to say it's not the original recipe on the internet. And then they're going around telling people it still is the original recipe, and they're even saying that's the Colonel's handwriting. I have my uncle and my step-aunt's handwriting, and I compared it to them, which is also on the video on this channel, proving further that it's a lie, that that is not the original recipe. Now, there was only a few members of my family that knew what the original was. My cousin Lee, who was sued in 1966 and barred from using 5 key ingredients to it in his original recipe for Lee's famous recipe chicken. My uncle Jim, who was a spokesperson for the brand after Uncle Harley died, and an Indiana franchisor in Seymour and Columbus, Indiana. And Claudia Price, the Colonel's second wife, who was primarily mixing the blend until they sold out in 1964. Those 3 people knew it, aside from Uncle Harley. There's other in-laws and step family that claim to know it, claim to have been given it, claim to have been given it as a trust that they would protect it, which I call bullcrap on all that, because if they were actually given that, they wouldn't be on the internet bragging about it. The rule of thumb is anybody on the internet that is bragging about having the original recipe and leaking it or gatekeeping it is lying to you. My uncle did not go around and just willy-nilly hand around his secret recipe after he sold out in 1964. It just didn't happen. Even with Mary and Kay Spices, he gave them a taste of it, had them recreate it the best they could, and they used it for the Claudia Sanders Dinner House. It's still a variant, and it's not 100%, which is why it's called 99X. Joe Ledington wanted attention, I guess, and just let it slip out of the scrapbook and didn't pay attention to his misspells or handwriting. And the news, as power-hungry as they are to get any story out for clicks and views and revenue, just latched onto it and released it. Between what Carl has posted and what I have posted, we have completely debunked Joe Ledington's credibility and his recipe.